Picking a new roof, man, it is a huge decision, especially for us here in Kansas City. It's not just about how it looks from the street, it's about picking your home's #1 shield against our seriously unpredictable weather. So, let's break down exactly what you need to know to make a great choice.
So, let's start with the most important question for any homeowner around here. Is your roof really ready for the wild 4 seasons in 1 week weather we get in Kansas City? Because the material protecting your home can make all the difference in the world.
We're not dealing with just one single threat. In the spring and summer, you've got hail that can absolutely pummel your roof. Then, the intense summer heat comes along and tries to bake it. Those heavy thunderstorms test every single seal. And in the winter, that freeze-thaw cycle can create cracks from expanding ice. A Kansas City roof has to be a true 4-season warrior.
To help you make the right call, here's our game plan. First, we're going to cover why this choice is so incredibly important. Then, we'll meet the 4 main contenders for your home. After that, we'll compare them head-to-head, zero in on the best choices for our local climate, and finally, help you spot the signs that it might just be time for a change.
So let's kick things off with why this matters so much. We call the roof your home's first line of defense because, well, that's exactly what it is. It's protecting everything and everyone right underneath it. But what does first line of defense really mean for your wallet? Well, the right roof can literally save you money. It can lower your summer cooling bills by reflecting heat, it can cut down on those annoying, costly repairs, and it's one of the first things potential buyers notice, which can seriously boost your home's value. Okay, so what are your options? Let's meet the 4 main contenders, all vying to be on top of your house. First up is the one you see pretty much everywhere, asphalt shingles. And there's a good reason they're the most common roofing material in the entire country. You can think of them as the versatile, budget-friendly champions of the roofing world. So here's the key trade-off. On the plus side, you get the lowest upfront cost and a massive variety of styles, which is fantastic. But on the flip side, you're looking at a shorter lifespan, somewhere around 15 to 25 years. And during our intense storms, they can be vulnerable to wind damage if the installation isn't absolutely perfect. Next up is metal roofing, which is like a true fortress for your home. This material has been getting a lot of attention lately, and for some really good reasons. It is absolutely built for the long haul. Just look at that lifespan, 40 to 70 years. That is incredible. Metal stands up brilliantly to hail and wind, plus it reflects sunlight, which can really help lower those summer energy bills. The catch? It's a significantly higher upfront cost. And yeah, it can be a little noisy during a big rainstorm if you don't have the right insulation underneath. Our third contender is the charmer of the group, wood shake. For certain homes, think rustic, cottage, or historic styles, there is absolutely nothing that can match the natural, warm beauty of real wood. Here you can really see that balance between looks and practicality. You get that one-of-a-kind, beautiful aesthetic and some great natural insulation. But wood demands your attention. It needs pretty high maintenance to prevent rot and mold, and it's definitely more vulnerable to fire unless it's properly treated. And finally, we have the legacy option, tile roofing. Whether we're talking about clay, concrete, or slate, this is the premium choice, the one that's designed to last for generations. The numbers here are just staggering. A lifespan of 50 years is pretty common, and some slate roofs can last over a century. They are incredibly durable and resistant to fire and heat. But all that performance comes at a cost, both in price and in weight. Your home structure might actually need to be reinforced just to support it. Now that we've met the contenders, let's put them head-to-head. This brings us to the central question for most homeowners. What's the right balance between that upfront cost and the long-term value?
It really boils down to this fundamental choice. Are you looking for the lowest cost right now, knowing you'll probably have to replace the roof sooner? That's asphalt. Or are you willing to invest more today for a roof that could very well outlive you? That's where metal and tile come in.
Let's just break this table down really quick. As you can see, asphalt is the most affordable per square foot, but it's got the shortest lifespan by far. Metal and tile, they're on the higher end of the cost spectrum, but they offer double or even triple the lifespan with low maintenance. And wood sits right in the middle on costs, but remember that high maintenance tag, that's a cost in both your time and your money. The real takeaway here is to think about the cost over the entire life of the roof, not just the upfront price.
Okay, now let's bring it all back home. How do we take this information and apply it directly to our unique Midwest climate right here in Kansas City?
For our severe spring and summer storms, 2 options really shine.
Metal roofing is just naturally tough against hail and high winds. But don't count asphalt out completely. You can get special impact-rated shingles. They're often called Class 4, and they're tested to withstand hail up to 2 inches in diameter. And what about that blazing summer sun? To keep your home cooler and your energy bills down, metal and tile are the top performers, hands down. Metal roofs, especially the lighter-colored ones, reflect solar radiation away from your house, and tile, because of its mass and the airspace underneath it, is fantastic at deflecting heat and stopping it from getting into your attic.
Ready to make a decision? Before you do, just run through this final checklist. What's your real budget? How long do you plan to be in the home? What style actually fits your house? And don't forget the practical stuff. Check your HOA rules for any restrictions, and maybe even call your insurance agent. A more durable roof might just get you a lower premium.
And for our final section, let's talk about the when. How do you know if it's actually time for a new roof? Here are the red flags you absolutely need to be watching for.
Some of these are super obvious, like missing shingles or, water stains on your ceiling, but others are more subtle. If you see a lot of black, sandy grit in your gutters, those are the protective granules from your asphalt shingles, and that's a huge sign they're wearing out. A sagging roof line is a serious structural warning. And of course, if your roofer is basically on speed dial, it might be cheaper in the long run to just replace the whole thing.
So after all this, it comes right back to that first line of defense. Go outside, take a look, and really ask yourself, what is your roof telling you? Is it strong and ready for another season, or is it showing signs that it's time for a change?